It is October 27. Two more fires. Vallejo and Crocket. I want to thank my subscriber who emailed me about these fires that started this morning. Grass fire. Look how lined up that is. I don't know. It just looks awfully strange to me. Well, these fires apparently have grown very quickly. It is truly just unbelievable that people are not questioning what is going on. So, what do we have? We've got evacuations in Crocket due to fire. I will link below to everything so you can play the videos if you want. Two fires are burning Sunday morning in Vallejo and Crocket on opposite sides of the Carquinez Bridge. I don't know. Sorry. I get frustrated with myself, but the fires have shut down Interstate 80 in both directions between Highway 4 and I-78. 780, I'm sorry, eastbound 180 traffic is now being diverted to Highway 4 toward Martinez. Unbelievable. Mandatory evacuations. This is a map that has pretty good information about it. Fire causes evacuations. It's burning 150 acres. One of two fires that have shut down I-80. Evacuation center at the Hercules Swim Center for residents in Crocket. Entire city of Crocket under evacuation warning. All right, all of this will give more and more information. My God. Okay, listen to this.
Fire that's burning in Vallejo right now. This looks like a fresh fire near the Carquinez Bridge. That fire skipped the freeway and is on the other side. And
Absolutely.
You can imagine these drivers are wondering what is going on as they are on I-80. Unbelievable. So this is just, well, I guess 3 now of many fires that are burning across the Bay Area. As you remember that the entire region is dealing with high winds, a red flag warning. We have, of course, been focused on the Kincaid fire since it's 30,000 acres and 180,000 people are evacuated, but that doesn't mean the threat for the rest of the Bay Area is over. And, of course, firefighters are now going to be busy here trying to deal with that, and dealing with a potential I-80 closure is obviously difficult, especially when we're dealing with traffic on Highway 1 as folks try to evacuate.
Boy, we're going to keep watching this fire in Vallejo, which is so scary for all those drivers on 80, right by Carquinez, by the bridge there. Let's take you back to our breaking news in Vallejo. This is that fire that's right by the Carquinez Bridge that has spread so quickly, jumped the freeway, jumped 80, and is now really close to the Cal Maritime Academy. That is actually Cal State University. It's one of the campuses of the system, and it's one of the ones granting maritime academies in the U.S. Only one on the West Coast, and you can see its facility there is very close to where the flames are burning now. They're putting fire.
And if we zoom back in, it looked like some law enforcement as well as some firefighters were close to some of those buildings, and then sort of farther down, it looked like some flames were getting close to some of those buildings right there. You can see something's close to catching on fire. I guess it's not a building. It looks sort of like a trailer, maybe full of equipment or something, but it's getting awful close to everything on the campus.
Well, Californians, if you don't think that you are under attack, I don't know what to tell you. You are denying and refusing to acknowledge. You're just ignoring what is right smack in your face. Okay, it jumped across I-80. You hear, oh, it jumped across a river, it jumped across a bridge, it jumps. Here's what was a live broadcast. It's no longer live. It is not sure how long it is, but it's going through all of what is going on in California. All of the fires And it includes Kincaid as well as the Maritime area, the Crocket and Vallejo.
Bonnie, are you still there?
Yeah.
So, what has it been like? Have you been out much in Oakland at all?
Yeah, we drove over the hills up on Skyline, and it's obviously very, very windy, and you can see the smoke going out towards sea from Vallejo. So right now where I am, there isn't much smoke over the air or in the air, but if you go up on the hills and look out, it looks pretty bad over the water and like San Francisco area, just all the smoke out there. But for now, it's actually pretty clear where I'm at, and we're just worried about the wind.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us on the phone, Bonnie.
Of course.
Best of luck to you today during the outage, and stay safe. We do want to go to some video just into the newsroom. We're told this is video of someone driving through this fire in Vallejo that we've been talking about. A car near the Carquinez Bridge, you can see stopped in traffic as flames and a lot of smoke are just right there on the freeway, yards away from these cars as they drive through. So you can imagine how scary that is. You're trying to drive through, you're all of a sudden surrounded by fire, eventually on both sides of 80, and then at some point the cars were turned around. But gosh, this is just looking at this, it's hard to believe that this is in Vallejo. The last time we saw video like this that I can remember anyway was when we were talking about the campfire up in Paradise last year, when you saw all sorts of terrifying video of people trying to escape flames. Of course, we're not talking about a situation like this with the Vallejo fire, but just seeing that video of cars driving through smoke and flames trying to escape any danger that might be around them is certainly reminiscent of that, and also indicative of the extreme fire conditions that we're dealing with throughout the Bay Area today. It's 11:30 in the morning, which means we still have 23 and a half hours left of this red flag warning, basically a full day of high winds that could kick up, of course, the Kincaid fire more, but also fires like the one that we're seeing in Vallejo. And there have been all sorts of small fires throughout the Bay Area that have been causing problems for people. I think you heard Kevin Brown with Vallejo Fire Department on the phone earlier, urging people not to do anything that might create any sort of flames, whether that's doing lawn equipment, using an electric lawnmower today. Just definitely not the day to do it, to something as small as throwing a cigarette out the window. So please be mindful. It is known that 94% of wildfires are man-made in some capacity. So if we're extra mindful during days like this, hopefully we can prevent more of these problems.
All right. I will link below to everything. We are at war. They're just using unconventional weapons. And, if they used conventional weapons, if they were dropping bombs, Americans would unite immediately. They would unite immediately. Well, they don't want Americans uniting. They want Americans steeped in fighting one another instead of looking at what is taking place here. We are at war. And unfortunately, yes, the enemy is our United States government. The enemy is the U.S. military. The enemy is law enforcement. We've got an awful lot of internal enemies. And without people in this country really taking a look at what the hell is going on, more and more will be destroyed. We've been dropping bombs on countries all over the world. We've been destroying countries. We've been, with our sanctions, we've been infiltrating other governments. We have been taking them down for decades. Well, this is what war looks like in the United States. And, there's There is an awful lot of people around the world that do not like Americans, that do not like the United States. And if they have access to unconventional weapons, they would, I have no doubt, have no problem using it against us. But an awful lot of people know. Don't unite Americans. Don't unite Americans. And that's not just those in our federal government, local or state governments. That's all over the world. Because if you united us, then there's a force that the opposing side would have to contend with. And it's so sad to see Americans in a condition where they're incapable of fighting anything. All links are below.